If you're invested in silver or gold, today was a very difficult day. The price of silver down almost 6%. Gold had a rough day as well. What are they blaming it on? Why today, out of the blue, did we have such a precipitous decline in the price of silver and the price of gold? We're going to look at why they say we went down today, but more importantly, what does the future look like? What do we have to look forward to in the coming weeks, quarters, even years? So the mainstream analysts, they're trying to sell us on this idea that today's big decline in silver, the decline in gold, that it's because of a weaker economy. But wait a minute, doesn't that make us scratch our heads and remember the fact that a weaker economy, well, that would mean that Jerome Powell and his buddies over at the Federal Reserve, that they would need to loosen up on monetary policy. That is good for the price of gold and silver, so none of this really makes sense. We got initial jobless claims that came in much higher than expected. That shows that the economy is slowing down. The result of this past year of record interest rate hikes by the Fed, the lagging effect is finally starting to hit the economy. The Producer Price Index, also known as the PPI, it came in lower than expected. That signals that inflation is starting to also taper off, which means the Fed can, again, maybe start to loosen up with their monetary policy, which is good for the price of silver and gold. But no, the mainstream analysts, they want to talk about the fact that there's fear of a recession, and that if there's lower consumer demand and industrial demand for silver and for gold for that matter, that the price is going to head south. They like to talk about a flight to safety, that people went into the dollar today. So the dollar index went up, and that sent the price of gold and silver down. But we know what really sent the price of gold and silver down. It's the fact that all the silver and gold, the price is determined by that big electronic exchange, the COMEX and the LBMA in London. And it's nothing but make-believe paper. Some of you like to refer to it as unicorn fart dust silver. It's not the real metal. It's not the real demand. And we know the demand for real metal is still quite robust. Heck, we know that from silver alone, right? The mines are putting out significantly hundreds of millions of ounces less than what's being demanded by the market. We know with gold throughout the world, there is super robust demand for gold. Heck, central banks are buying gold at a pace like they never have in history. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing two of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has zero debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects. And all of this is occurring against a backdrop of a banking crisis in the United States. Yes, banks are in big trouble in the U.S. Oh, and we might want to also mention there's a debt limit or a debt ceiling crisis. We've got like a couple of weeks in the United States before the U.S. government defaults on its debt. So when you look at your silver and you look at your gold, I want you to think about 3 things. Number 1, think of them in terms of ounces. Why would we even want to think of our ounces of silver or gold, if you hold gold, in US dollar terms, in Japanese yen terms, in euro terms? It makes no sense. Silver and gold have been valuable for thousands of years more than any of those paper currencies. Think of your metals in terms of ounces. When it comes to silver, remember this: it's a very volatile metal. We learned that again today now, didn't we? But it's not unusual several times a year for the price of silver to go up or down by 5, 6, sometimes even 10% or more. And when you think of silver and gold, why not think back just 6 short months ago? We had gold around $1,600 per ounce, an ounce of silver selling for darn near $17 per ounce. Look how far both prices have come on both metals. We do have much for which to be grateful. What do you think? When you look at the big picture for silver, for gold, do you see blue skies ahead? Hey, none of us has a crystal ball, but I see really great things in the future for the value of both silver and gold. I appreciate you joining me today. You know you're always welcome here in Ron's Basement. Watch another video and please give this one a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe. It's free. I'll see you next time.